Yes, there is a PSEUDO FTK in the new Odion deck. I know, shocking, new archetype abused. So this is my Odion trap deck. And I have somehow managed to find a very old exploit. If you couldn't know this, we're playing Barrier Statue of Drought. And we're also playing the last warrior from another planet. Don't mind the extra deck, we'll get to that. The side deck, we'll get to that. And you might also see that I'm playing Mystical Beast of Circuit. You might be seeing where I'm going with this if you have read these cards at all. And you might also notice that I'm playing 3 new circuits. And the reason I'm playing these ratios is because of this card, Temple of the Kings, a very old card. I believe it's like 25 or more years old, or around that years old. And the first effect we're all familiar with, and it's probably the one that gets resolved the most. It's you can activate 1 trap card the turn you set. Very good for the combo, but we're using it for the second effect, which has been waiting to be exploited for as long as this game has existed. You can send 1 Mystical Beast of Circuit in your monster zone and discard you control to the graveyard, special summon a monster from a hand or deck, or a fusion monster from an extra deck. This means we can literally cheat out any monster that can be special summoned. Why I say that? Because if that was not a restriction, we'd probably go with the goddamn vanity cards. But this is the closest we can get. Drought is the closest to a vanity card we can actually get. The targets I chose for this are Drought, of course, because neither player can special summon monsters except Earth monsters. Then Warrior from Another Planet, which says if this card summon, destroy all monsters you control. Neither player can summon monsters. And to the side deck, we go with the, of course, classic General Raiho of the Ice Barrier. When opponent's monster effect resolves, acted on field resolves, they must discard 1 card or that effect is negated. If you don't know, this is literally a Raziel Cross, but on steroids. So, and another thing that I'm playing is, you could be playing, but I'm not going to right now, I'll experiment with that a bit more, is Harpy's Featherstorm and Quantum Cat. This is my favorite trap monster, by the way. You could also be playing, what's that, Swamp guy, there's another trap card that does this, that also gets allows you to select this guy, but I like Quantum Cat more because it's, you know, it's Quantum Cat. It's a cat. So if you don't know, this card can be activated by declaring 1 monster type and 1 attribute, special summon this as a normal monster with that type and attribute, and it's also still a trap. And Harpy's Featherstorm, it says if you control the winged beast monster until the end of the turn, negate any monster effect your opponent activates. So if you declare this winged beast and activate this, it's just game over. Also, what I'm playing is Defense of the Temple. The reason I'm playing this is because this is theoretically a super poly. Why? Because we are playing also the Divine Scorpion Beast of Circuit. This is, the requirements are 1 circuit monster and 1 monster with 2000 or 2500 or less attack. So literally anything that they can still summon. So if they pass, we can search through this with the new Scorpion. Fuse it away for this guy. Banish a monster on the field or the graveyard, and then this guy gets a lot beefier, because if you don't know this card, if this card is special summoned at the start of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster, you can target some monster upon control, send it to the graveyard, banish it, and if you do, this card gains attack equal to half that banished monster attack. So let's say you banish Detonator. This card will become a 4500. But we're not done, because this thing can be an OTK machine by itself. Because you can only use blah blah blah. You can make a second attack during each battle phase while a level 10 or a higher monster is banished. Not just in your banishment, but your opponent's too. And if you don't know, this guy special summons himself by banishing a level 10, which is Lord of the Heaven Pleasant and Anubis the Last Judge. You might be wondering, how the actual living shit do you execute this? This sounds like very inconsistent. Well, I assure you this is not that hard to pull off. So let me show you what cards you can have in your hand to pull this off. Everything you will need for this FTK, pseudo FTK if you will, is either of the Scorpions, access to Treasure of the Kings without your normal summon, and any trap, which is not that hard to do. You can also play Terraforming to increase your chances of getting to Treasure without a normal. So what you will do, you will go Treasure of the Kings, you will add the Apophis the Serpent, you will set Apophis the Serpent, then you will set the extra trap, you will activate Treasure of the Kings, search yourself the Mystical Beast of Circuit, the original one. Then you will special summon the new circuit by banishing Anubis. You will activate the new circuit to give yourself Treasure of the Kings. We have completed the combo now. But what we'll do now is actually we're gonna activate Temple of the Kings. We'll go Apophis the Serpent, summoning the Serpent. We'll set Apophis the Swamp Deity, which we can activate right away because of Serpent's effect. And now what we'll do, because we haven't committed to our normal summon, we will just tribute over the original one. We'll activate Temple of the Kings, sending both to the graveyard to summon a card of choice. Here you can, in this deck, you can go for the last warrior from another planet, or in this case what I'm going to do is going to go for Barrier Statue of Drought. So now we are both locked into special summoning only rock monsters, which is kinda ridiculous if you ask me. So what we'll do now, I'll just play out the combo now. We'll just contact fuse these two. I'll activate this guy, searching as the original embodiment of Apophis, getting extra bodies, you know. We'll place these back. We'll set this, and now we pass. This is the entire lock. And guess what? We still have 2 other cards to warfare, at least. So what we're gonna do now is they're gonna pass because they can't special summon except Earth monsters. What we're gonna do? We're gonna go Anubis the Last Judge here, a man with a mark, you know, and you just play it out. So you just win. If this goes through, you just win. If this gets impermed, you still have Verdict of Anubis sometimes. Sometimes you even have Verdict of Anubis, which negates it. You can even shotgun the Apophis the Serpent, and then chain, when they use imperm, you can chain Swamp Deity to just negate it. And so, yeah, this deck's not very fair. So what we will do now is, if you have an extra body, you can go Granite or whatever the hell, and just search for Lord of the Heavenly Prison. We will detach Man with Mark. We search Lord, and now our opponent can even destroy our back row. You can also do that before, but we already have a lock, so it's just a win more at that point. So what you would also do is fuse away anything. You would fuse anything else they have. If they have something face up, we'll go this, banish this, and because we have a banish level 10, this card can attack twice. And that's it. This is the entire. This is the bad guy side of the deck. Let me just explain what else we're playing here, because some of you might be confused by some choices. We're playing, of course, 3 Anubis, 1 Lord of Having Prison, because it's searchable in this deck by Granite. We have 3 Scorpions, so we increase the chances of drawing this and Temple. Then we have 1 original circuit, because we need to lock our opponent. Then we have 1 Drought and 3 Man of the Mark. That's our engine monsters. Then we have 3 Ash, of course, you cannot go wrong with this. We have our Defense of the Temple, which fuses summons 1. And then we have Pot of Prosperity, which literally, if you know what you're playing against, you'll just put out the Ultimate Slayer targets that you don't need. Speaking of Ultimate Slayer, we're playing 3 of that. For the targets, we're playing Garura, Entis, Malong, Aggregator, and Firigit. Then we're playing 1 Coldby. This card is crazy because it protects you from hand traps. Then we have Temple of the Kings, which allows us to do the lock with a combination of circuit. Then we have That's 10. I love this card. This is the perfect card to put in this deck, because it literally allows you to set anything. Any continuous trap monster that you put here, it is settable off of this card, and it can be activated the same turn. Then we have Treasure of the Kings. This is again max capacity we can play, so we get that lock consistency. We're playing 1 Olenoidus, which is just a back row pop, and that's an extra trap, so we can activate Treasure. Then I have 3 Imperm, also serves as a treasure 2nd card to set. Then you have one of my favorite targets for That's 10, You're Finished. If you don't know what this card is, if 10 or more cards or effects have been activated during this turn, special summon this as an effect monster. Cyber's Dark, level 10, 30, Jesus Christ, 3000. This card is also still trap, but set it in your spell trap zone during your end phase. So you need your opponent to activate the cards, because if you do this during your turn, it'll just set itself back. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect, while this card is in your monster zone, quick effect, you can destroy as many cards your opponent controls as possible, then set this card in your spell and trap zone. So it's literally Exodia's Obliterate Blade, Exodia's Exalt Fires of Rage. Literally is that, but it's a continuous trap card. Then of course you play 2 Apophis the Swamp Deity, 1 Azurune, 2 Apophis the Serpent, 1 Embodiment of Apophis. This is just an extra body that we can use, and 2 Verdict of Anubis, which is the most stupid Summon Judgment I've ever seen. Then for the extra, we have one of the targets for the lock is Last Warrior from Another Planet. Then we have 1 Divine Scorpion Beast of Circuit, 2 Divine Serpent Apophysis, 1 Garura, 1 Entes, 1 Malong, 1 Aggregator, and 1 Malevolent Sin, which is just okay removal. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Exile from this card, then target 1 monster opponent controls, banish it until your opponent's next standby phase. During the damage if this card is attacked, you can make this card gain 300 attack. If you do, increase its rank by 3. So this is kind of a beat stick, and it's also banishment removal. Then we have Granite, which searches us Lord. Then we have Dugares giving us OTK potential if we do not have enough firepower. One Espilin Knight, one Fairyjet, one Stillhat Rabbit because this card was literally made for this deck, and one IP Masquerena so we can quick link it into Rabbit. Then what you can put in is another option for the target is of course Raiho, and as I said before, Quantum Cat Harvest Featherstorm combo. So I'm gonna probably buy this deck. Why? Because I want to actually I haven't seen anyone try this yet. To be fair, I haven't been looking a lot, but I haven't seen anyone try this lock yet. I will do some research if someone has done it before, but as of now I'm the only one I know who has done this. If I'm wrong, that's completely fine. I'm just happy that I figured this out on my own. So I hope that you liked my my contribution to the stun community. And when I made this, I also made this because I have really this is real. Now I'm become Death, the destroyer of worlds. Peace.